Hello and welcome to the North Bank Podcast. I'm your host, Holly, and I'm joined by Stef and Chris. Hello, guys.
Good evening.
Hello.
It's a very special edition of the North Bank Podcast. It's the Would You Rather edition, which I know thousands of you have been dying for, waiting for us to record. You will not be disappointed, I assure you, because there are some crackers out there. But before we get on to that, obviously, another devastatingly depressing missed opportunity of a transfer window. We are recording on Tuesday the 10th of June, and the transfer window slammed shut 2 hours ago, and we have not made a signing. I'm getting your garden gnome, Chris, and I'm walking to the Emirates a la John Cleese or Basil Fawlty in whatever episode that was. I'm going to shove it where the sun don't shine on whoever's responsible. Berta.
Hashtag Berta out.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously the transfer window has... Don't just clip that bit, Steph, later and put it out onto social media because I'll get absolutely pilloried. Yeah. Part one of the summer transfer window has closed after 10 days and will reopen in 6 days. So, yeah, I've no idea. But, you know, there are loads of rumours kicking around and it's the same names and we're just waiting for kind of progress on it. But I'll just quickly run through what I've heard. And I'm going to reference a new Twitter account, X account, a Hand of Arsenal, who keeps getting referenced, and they seem to be pretty reliable and consistent and calm voice in the madness. And so his first update is about Zubimendi, and Ornstein backed it up 24 hours later with his Orn bomb this morning, or whatever we call it, I don't know. And that Arsenal consider Zubimendi signed, deal done and signed, and Arsenal expect him to report for pre-season training. Now, I know, Steph, until you see him parading around the Emirates with an Arsenal shirt.
Until I see a Berta or Arteta hand on his shoulder.
Forcing him down.
Yeah, keeping him in like a threat.
Pen, right, you will sign your name. Well, I can sign the Martin bit, like the Zubimendi bit I'm a bit out, a scribble. But and again, I didn't watch it. Did either of you guys watch the Nations League final? Part of the reason why Lamarca in the Madrid focused Spanish newspaper have been banging on about Operation Zubimendi is because of his performance in that final. Did you guys see it?
No, I am so footballed out.
Yeah. Well, you're not looking forward to the World Club Cup Championship, whatever it's called?
Sorry, the what?
I've no idea. Who cares?
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Okay.
Women's Euros. That's about as far as I might go this summer, I think.
Isn't the under-21 Euros on as well? No,
I need a break.
Ethan's there.
He is. Just don't get injured. It's like tonight, England playing Senegal. We had 3 Arsenal players starting. Oh.
How's that going? I turned it on. Harry Kane scored.
Well, they were winning 3-0
at
half-time. I think I saw a thing or something. I don't know. Just get them off. Get them fresh.
So, but Zubimendi did kind of receive rave reviews for his performance in that game, and that's good. It seems like it's a deal done, and I think that's quite exciting. Obviously, Gabriel signed his new extension to his contract. Big news, huge news. So, you know, we're 10 days into the transfer window, ignoring the fact it's shutting for 6 days, but we're 10 days into it. And that's good. I think the Arsenal fan base is not quite losing its head as it was a few days ago because of maybe the Ornstein tweet this morning about Zubimendi. But more exciting than that, let's go on to the Sesko versus Gyökeres striker debate. The dial's moved a little bit on the Sesko front, I believe. I again, from Hand of Arsenal, he put out a tweet this afternoon giving a bit more detail about... who's Sesko's team? Leipzig. Yeah, that behind closed doors, they're panicking. That they're desperate. They need the money. The lack of Champions League football next season is a real kind of kick in the teeth for them. Maybe a bit like Aston Villa here. It's forcing their hand, and they need a deal done soon. The Saudi interest is real in Sesko, but it's been leaked by the Germans to try and chivvy Arsenal along a little bit, perhaps. It's I think it's the nature of the deal. It's quite a complicated deal to do with them. However, it's nudging along. Charles Watt said at some point today that he expects movement on this towards the end of the week. That we're not hearing anything publicly, but actually behind closed doors again, behind the scenes, things are moving with Sesko. And Hand of Arsenal again said Ollie Watkins is a plan B. And that was his thing. No bid has ever gone in for Gyökeres, despite Portuguese journalists implying it has done. And more to the point, I've heard a suggestion that Sporting are reneging on their gentleman's agreement with Gyökeres and demanding an extra 20 million to what they said they would let him go for. And he's quite angry about that or cross about that. So watch that space, but it seems like we're leaning towards Sesko. But the more exciting, well, for me, the most exciting rumour, and there is a strong link, is Rodrigo from Madrid. I think he's got the capacity to be an Alexis Sanchez type of signing, taken away from the bubble of Barcelona. Sanchez just flourished at Arsenal. Take away Rodrigo from the bubble of Real Madrid. He wants to play on the left. He's never going to play on the left for Madrid. He's just not going to do it. And But now this is the thing. This is a would you rather episode. So would you rather go for Anthony Gordon or Semenyo now, or Sane now, because that seems to be the other link as a free agent from Bayern, or wait, because everybody is suggesting that if Rodrigo is going to leave, it will be towards the latter stages of the transfer window, so into mid to late August, even after the first game or two of the new season. Would you rather wait and wait and wait if there's a chance of getting him by the end of that window closing, risking him not coming at all, knowing that you've got Martinelli and Trossard as a backup?
Little involuntary laugh there.
Did I do that? Sorry,
you need to work on that,
wasn't
mate.
conscious.
It's like if I said Manchester United.
Oh, what happened?
Doesn't it? I suppose it depends heavily on the likelihood of him coming, doesn't it? That if you said it was a greater probability, if it's a 50-50, then.
I think he's interested. He won't be cheap. He will be expensive. But he won't expect. Like if Havertz, if we, I don't know how accurate these are, but if we assume that Havertz is on like 260, 270 grand a week as our top earner, we can do that for Rodrigo. And I don't think that would be like an issue with him. I think that salary for him is acceptable. It's the transfer fee from Madrid that might be slightly too close to the 100 mil. For Arsenal, I don't know, and then once you agree the fee, it's the kind of the structure of the payments that makes a big difference. So apparently we're paying more than Zubimendi's release clause, but we're spreading the payments.
Yeah.
We're not paying it in one go. So Sociedad are happy to get more money, just spread over a longer period of time, and we're happy to pay the extra to not have it all come out of this summer's budget, which makes sense. It suits both parties. Yeah. So would you rather? Chris, would you rather wait if there's a chance, and there is a chance, he's not happy in Madrid, and he would be, he's got a couple of mates at Arsenal, and they have been speaking to him, oiling the wheels, a bit of revenge, and that was Barcelona on us, with like, who did they put the jersey, who is it? Fabregas and stuff like that. But anyway, they're Spanish, so we'll take revenge on the nation rather than the football club. Would you rather, get it? Because for me, he shifts the needle.
He's a ceiling
bit of a game
raiser.
changer. Oh yeah,
massively
yeah.
so. Yeah. If you're giving me like 60-40, the probability, I'm there. Yes.
Someone online, again, I can't remember who, was talking about the fact that Rodrigo falls into that category, like you just said, Chris, in terms of that ceiling raiser. Actually, Arsenal buying a striker, as much as we've clamoured for one for so long, looking at the strikers that are out there, and the fact that there's no sort of safe bets means that, whereas if we bought a Rodrigo, that changes something, and so yeah, I'm probably there as well. Whereas actually, if that meant that we suddenly couldn't afford the Sesko deal, it wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world.
Because you say the strikers that we've been linked with and that are out there, there's no safe bet. I'm going to give you a safe bet. I'll put forward a safe bet.
Would that be Watkins?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's guaranteed 15 to 20 goals in that Arsenal team.
And there's even... Well, he's not a striker. I was going to say Mbuemo, because I was just listening to something not long before we recorded about how nothing's been confirmed. Man United are trying to spend money that they might not be able to unless they can raise some funds as well. So Cunha looks like it's pretty much done and dusted.
Done, yeah.
Whereas Mbuemo, there's a bit of a lag. There was them rumours because Thomas Frank is going to be announced at Tottenham. Would he want to go there with him? Because they're in the Champions League anyway. But then Mbuemo's not a centre forward, is he?
No.
Watkins.
He's a left-footed right side, right of the front three.
Look, I'd be happy with Watkins. I'd have been happy with Watkins in January. And if it means you get someone that's more of a superstar out wide, because... we need that a bit of creativity as well.
Okay, right. I'm going to steal something from Arsenal Vision podcast and Elliot, and it's the reason I'm stealing it is because it's a would you rather, and he offers 3 options. So I want you to rate these options 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sesko and Sane, Gyökeres and Semenyo, Watkins and Rodrigo. Well, I think I know where I'm going. So, Sesko, Sane, Gyökeres, Semenyo, Watkins, Rodrigo. Who's taking it on?
I'll go. I think Watkins, Rodrigo is the top one for me for the reasons you guys have just outlined. There's a plug and play centre forward with an exceptional left forward. So that's my number one.
Gyökeres and Semenyo.
That would be my second. I'm not sold on Sane as much unless he's brought in as a kind of an auxiliary kind of a signing after the main ones kind of thing. If he becomes a main,
because he can back up Saka on the right hand side as well.
Sure, and he's a free agent.
Agent. He'll cost a bit
you're just
in terms
talking
of wages, but
big wage, yeah.
But Sesko's got the highest ceiling of those centre forwards.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he's touching the ceiling.
Hey.
But for me, as like you guys just outlined it, a ready-made centre forward like Watkins, and the goals will come from elsewhere. With someone like Rodrigo, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I'm the same order, and I think it's more about the negatives attached to the Sane Sesko one. Sesko is young and could be amazing, we know, but could also be quite expensive, and therefore is a more of a risk. Sane, I don't know. The more I think about it, the less I'm enamoured by this at all. As much as, like you say, as a squad player, but he's going to be on extortionate wages.
He'll be top earner, yeah.
And I don't see how that fits our model. I'd rather promote a young player through. Reece Nelson, there were rumours I was seeing today that Fulham are going to try and put a deal together to try and get him over there. Fine, but we've got a few in the wings. Even if Waneri sits out on the wing a little bit more, I'd rather that and him get that time rather than Sane come in, and because of his wages we feel like we need to use him and he blocks his path.
So why is Watkins different?
Watkins, Premier League ready.
Sane's played Premier League.
Pardon?
Sane's played Premier League.
While ago, and they're about the same age, 29, 30, both of them, aren't they? But Watkins is doing it now. Yeah. Watkins has remained doing it and sustained doing it. Sane's gone off to Bayern, where they're, apart from last season particularly, they're the best team in the league all the time. I don't know.
Well, for me,
he's great. I like Sane, and this is not to say Sane's rubbish. It's just that, profile-wise,
for me, it would be motivation. Watkins, as an Arsenal fan all his life, his I'd question Sane's
Dire.
Yeah.
Hunger.
Yeah, absolutely. What's he got to prove? He's not wedded to Arsenal in any way, apart from the fact we'd be paying his wages. He's got a relationship with Arteta, but then so did Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
It reeks of last big contract.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be a last big contract for Watkins as well, but very different context.
Yeah.
And I think he's been injured a bit more as well, Sane.
Mind you, we'll sort that out for Watkins.
Oh, I'm sure. A few
Hamstring.
weeks. Yeah.
Straight away. Just a couple more names. No, actually, one more name. Well, okay, Morgan Rogers has been linked. I just don't know where he fits in. I think he's through the middle. He's more of a Declan Rice kind of position. Not a Declan Rice number 6, but a Declan Rice number 8 kind of position.
Has played as a winger.
He has, but
he played as a winger for Borough.
Is that his strength?
For me, no.
Yeah.
He's more of I see him, like you say, Declan Rice, box to box.
And we'd have to drop a lot of money on him. And
Villa, but he's one that you could delay because Villa are going to be looking to sell. And of all the players that they've got, Rodgers is really the one they want to keep. If I'm a Villa fan, I'm thinking keep Rodgers and everyone else is kind of surplus. Build the team around him. But pure business-wise, he might be someone.
He's the biggest. He's got the biggest price tag on his.
I find it very weird with Villa because obviously they sold John Duran, for 70 million to a Saudi club. A lot of money, and yet they're still in a pickle, apparently.
Well, we can blame Pogmol for that, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
The other name that's interesting for me is Mark Gay at Palace. We were really linked with Howson, the Bournemouth centre-half who went to his dream club, his childhood club, Madrid, which is great. Good luck to him. Happy for him. It's a nice story. He seems like a nice young lad and he's a very, very good centre-half. 50 million would have been lovely. Mark Gay's got a year left on his contracts, and I think it was The Athletic carried a story today, part of their kind of transfer deal sheet they put out every few days, that he is at the top of our list for centre-backs if we go for a centre-back. Now, he's only got a year left on his contract. I know Newcastle put in some big offers for him last season and Palace rebuffed them. And he's he's Premier League proven, he's England international, he can cut it. But you would question it from his perspective. Why would he, in a World Cup year, come to Arsenal with Gabriel and Saliba ahead of him? I'd love him. I think he's, again, you talk about your squad depth and your floor raiser. He's not a ceiling raiser in centre-back position, but he's certainly a floor raiser, especially when we've got the injury prone. I mean, it might be a bit unfair to classify Ben White as injury prone, but he's had an injury-plagued hit season. We don't know how that's going to impact him moving forward. Timber has been absolutely incredible this season, but overplayed and does risk the odd injury as a consequence of that kind of excess minutes. Tomiyasu, you can't legislate for him. Calafiori, another injury-prone player. We're assuming that Zinchenko will maybe moved on, and Maslow Skelly's still only 18. We can't play him every game. So Kiwior's the other one who seems reliable in terms of injury, and there's a question mark over whether he's with us next season or whether we cash in on him. We'll get a lot of money for him. We could do a swap, not Palace Arsenal swap, but Kiwior out, Gay in is a stronger squad, I think. I don't know. So he's definitely a name that we're interested in. It's from his perspective, someone like Man United surely should. I mean,
this is the double-edged sword of having two brilliant centre halves, isn't it? Is if you bring in someone who is primarily a centre half. I don't think Gay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't play fullback, does he?
Not aware.
So it's not like you can repurpose him and give him minutes that way. It's a case of carling
specialist centre back.
Yeah, or in breaking glass in case of emergency, like Kiwior has. But at least Kiwior can be repurposed as a left back. So I don't know why, like you said, Holly, what would be the motivation for him to come and warm the bench?
Or you back yourself. And Gabriel's picked up an injury this season, and he'd have played in a Champions League quarter-final and a semi-final, and potentially a final if we had a striker. So it's I don't know. It depends on what else is on offer for him. But Palace will be probably open to a bid, an offer, because he's got 12 months left on his contract. So he's the only other name that kind of piqued my interest in terms of, and it's come from a reliable source. It's come from The Athletic. It's not like some Billy Two Bob on Twitter, me uncle's wife's hairdresser's son. Me HP sauce and all that.
What about Kepa the keeper?
Oh yeah, have we not talked about him?
No, don't think
before,
so.
like previous pod. I think it's brilliant. I think it's
a no-brainer, isn't it?
£5 million for him. I think that's stonking good bit of business. Like, and he's 30.
He
the
could
most
still
expensive
have sell-on value.
The most expensive keeper ever.
Yeah.
And is he from the same part of Spain as well as Arteta? Like, or similar part? He's a Basque product as well. So they can have some Spanish banter that him and Raya goalkeeping bants in Espanol. I don't know what that is. Sounded Spanish to me in my Del Boy best. Kepa, I think £5 million. I think thank you very much. And he's willing to do it. And again, so similar to Gay, he's backing himself to challenge David Raya. He's had a decent season at Bournemouth.
Very.
They were Bournemouth fans. You always judge that, but Bournemouth fans are disappointed to see him go and not stay. So that's kind of the best kind of indicator for me, is how do the fans of the club feel about the player? If they're happy for him to go, I don't want him.
Well, he was on loan there.
Yeah.
So how are the Chelsea fans feeling? Because they're going to buy Stephen Mangan from
that's
AC Milan.
collapsed.
Oh, is
that
it?
deal has collapsed because they wanted him for the World Club Championship Club thing. They wanted him for that, but that deadline's shut. So it might be reopened later on, but it's dead at the moment. Yeah, but Chelsea have got like about 5 goalkeepers, haven't they? Haven't they just sold their third choice to Man City, Bettinelli?
They sold him to themselves to circumnavigate the rules.
Yeah.
Or they sold him to a car park.
He is officially a hotel.
Technically, if you look him up, he is a car park and a hotel, both owned by Chelsea Women, which is a subsidiary of...
Who've generated £8.5 million per week in revenue.
It's all perfectly above board, nothing to see here. Move on.
Chelsea Women ticket sales, that's a lovely... Thanks for that, Chris. Nice little segue into... the other big bit of breaking news in the last couple of days is that Arsenal women will play all of their Premier League WSL games at the Emirates, along with any knockout games in the Champions League. So that got me thinking. Arsenal women's average crowd last season, average attendance was 34,000, and that places us 11th in the Premier League table of average attendance, and in the Championship only behind Sunderland and Leeds. That is pretty impressive. I mean, again, it will only go. That's up 20% on the year before. You can see that going up. I'm assuming they'll be selling season tickets for those 11 games. I don't know. Is there a WSL season ticket? I'm assuming there is.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So
it's very cheap.
Yeah. Well,
don't. Just had renewals.
I know.
If anyone would like to send in any money to the North Bank podcast,
there's a GoFundMe
hello@the
page.
northbankafc.com.
I'm actually naked from the waist down because I had to sell all my underwear in order to finance. Just so you know.
When you started that,
image.
Chris, I started biting my nails. I didn't know where that was going to end. Speaking of ends, there's two. I forgot. We have actually generated some income as a club. Marquinhos has gone to Cruzeiro for 3 million, and what's his name? Tavares has gone to. Is it Lazio? No, who is it? Lazio. I think we've got 10 million between those two, and we've got a sell-on clause for both. I think.
That's all right. That's about 6 months for Leroy Sané's wages, probably.
Don't.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Any other transfer nonsense?
God no.
Okay, so onto the on to why we're all here.
Yeah.
The would you rather. So, Steph, you put out a request to our listeners, viewers, and they've obliged. And in no particular order, and I apologise in advance for bastardising people's names if I do, or their handles or whatever. And if I get the wrong source, I apologise as well. So in no particular order, I'm going to throw you to some would you rathers. And I will start with Ars Wenger's on Blue Sky, because it was the first one I wrote down. That's why I will start with it. So, would you rather 3 new signings, Sesko, Rodgers, Sane, or every player currently in our squad fully fit for the entire season? So, would you rather 3 new signings, Sesko, Rodgers and Sane, with the risk, running the risk that we damage them, like as well as damaging the existing players, or every player currently in our squad fully fit for the entirety of the season? Now, those of you who are not watching us, that would you rather has caused a degree of pain etched across 2 faces that I'm looking at. So thanks for that one, Arsene, because it's kicked us off nicely.
It's a very good one.
I'm going to say I don't think it is that painful. I'm on the side of, you guarantee if your magic lamp or crystal ball or whatever...
Yeah, that's the would you rather, that's the deal.
...predicts that the squad that we had last year is fit for the entire season, I'm having that. Because it's a good enough team with a few others who could do things. So I'm having that.
There are no few others. You don't get a few others.
I don't need few. I mean, like... there is the team with a few subs to augment it that could do it. I'm all right with that.
And Max Dowman, we add Max Dowman like a new signing.
Ooh.
Chris, you're not in agreement, I'm thinking.
I'm gonna say, with a roll of the dice kind of attitude, that we can't have as many injuries as we've had this season just gone.
Oh, such naivety, it's cute.
I'm going to assume that we won't have the awful luck that we've had last year, or luck/mismanagement. So I'm going to go with the 3 new signings to enable Arteta to rotate more and thereby keeping players fit. So that's my...
So do I have to play adjudicator here? We've had one on each side.
Just say what you choose one, mate. Just choose one. You can't.
That's the same thing, isn't it? That's what I'm doing.
It is, because we've disagreed. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, Chris, I'd have to go with yours. I think I would. When I read it myself, I thought, I just want the sexy new toy, and that would be not Sane, it would be Sesko. And Rodgers is a very, very, very good player. Again, he's 22. Like, his ceiling is very high. So I can stomach Sane if I've got Sesko and Rodgers, and we can't surely suffer the same injury.
Yeah,
hell.
He said.
Yeah, touching like chunks of wood. Okay, on to the next one. So Tabs at the Grove on Blue Sky has sent in 2. The first one: would you rather not watch football for the whole season and then be told in May that we'd won the league, or basically have the last 3 seasons again? But experiencing the Reece Nelson against Bournemouth, the 5-0 against City, or what would you rather do? So Steph knows his answer to this one straight away, because he is away end Steph and so on. So Steph, go on.
Put it this way: no way. And I've messaged with Tabs about this one already, because we're in touch on WhatsApp. There's no way I'm going a year without watching football, and particularly Arsenal. It's been 2 weeks-ish since the end of the season, and already, there's tension at home, shall we say?
Because
I'm here and I'm getting in the way.
Wow.
So, Chris,
would
you rather... I don't know how it would happen, but like in this make-believe world of would you rather, Would you rather not know anything, only to be told on the 18th of May 2026, Arsenal are the Premier League champions? We might let you go to the victory parade. Or experience the season as it unfolds with all the highs and lows, and ultimately finish second for the fourth time.
Okay, I'm going to go the other way, Steph, and I'm going to use that season to do things which take me away from football in a way that will enrich my life and my soul, you know. So
and then find out you can bask
right.
in the glory anyway.
So I'm going to learn Japanese and play the cello and do things like that and come back a richer, wiser man with that cherry on top at the end. That's my take.
And then watch the tapes.
Yes.
You know, watch it. Watch
Am
the
I allowed,
highlights.
Tabs, am I allowed to watch the playbacks? No, I don't know. The highlight DVD.
Okay, so I'm finding myself once again in the position of having to. Well, I again, Chris, I find myself agreeing with you because the club is bigger than me.
What do you do with your year?
What do I do with my year? I don't.
To replace, you have to replace it with something. You can't sit there chewing your nails.
What do I do? I
come to cello classes with
come
me?
to cello classes.
Chris, I just want to let you know, Eiko no Hunter.
Is that Japanese?
That's Glory Hunter in Japanese.
So you don't learn when you listen to this pod.
I've probably butchered the pronunciation of that.
And that was a double negative, Chris, which really just confuses my brain completely.
Sorry.
Don't say you don't learn. I'm not sure what you. I help. I cannot handle double negatives. I can't do it. Okay. I Arsenal winning the league. I guess. I don't know. I don't. At what point does finishing second not become success? Is there a trophy for second like there was for fourth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Tab sent in another one which is slightly less taxing. Well, it is for me, but would you rather win the Premier League or the Champions League?
Yeah, simple one.
It is a simple one for me, yeah.
Is it?
It is, yeah, all day long.
It's the Prem for me.
Yeah, absolutely, all day long.
Yeah, I come down on the side of the Prem because, you know, it's over a longer amount of games, so it's a better sample of where you're at. You know, for all the quality of the Champions League, it is a cup competition. And I'd love to get that monkey off our back, though, as well. That would be lovely. So, yeah, but ultimately, Premier League. Premier League's the best team in the league.
Let me put it to you in a slightly different way. What do you think the players would prefer?
Oh, I think a lot of them might err on the Champions League now. I think it's got such mystique about it that, yeah, they judge. A lot of the players judge themselves on that level.
It's global, isn't it? It's
global.
World stage. It's not country stage. It's world stage.
So I get that, but at the same time, maybe that's our fan perspective.
No,
38 games.
I think they look at it as be the best in Europe and you are effectively the best in the world as a club team. That's what they'd be thinking. It would pander to their egos enormously, and all their mates who play for the European clubs, they'd want to be top of that pile.
And,
so I get that. But for us...
getting to the semi-final might be one of the, kind of tools we use to persuade these players to sign extensions to their contracts and to come join us as well. Look, you can be the difference maker. You can get us over that final hurdle, because the players we're talking about are, even Zubimendi is will become a critical tool in our attack because of the freedom he'll afford to Declan Rice
and to Odegaard. And release him earlier,
and also how he's a lot quicker in possession and decision making than Partey is.
I didn't watch the Nations League because don't care. But I did see some clips online, and there's a ball for one of the goals, I think in the semi-final against France,
Was it Marino's?
Marino scored, but Zubamendi plays a ball through midfield that's like, I don't know, it was like some kind of trick shot in snooker where a ball has been played through a pack of others, and it's just like, how has it found its way through? So that was interesting.
Very cruelly described as, well, it opened up for him. I can't remember who said it, and you think, well, that's a little bit cynical. But...
Probably Lee Dixon.
Yeah.
If it was cynical and negative and slightly anti-football, it might have been Lee Dixon. Much as I love him, he's not the cheeriest in co-coms. Okay. Premier League for the fan, perhaps, but maybe Champions League for the player, which that's why I asked it, because I figured that might be the case as well. Okay, on to the next one. Daisies_dreams on Instagram. Now, she's got a would you rather Arteta in, give him time to build, but risk second again, or Arteta out, but guaranteed to win a trophy in your first year, in the first year. Now, she doesn't specify what trophy.
Yeah.
So let's say it's not the League Cup and it's not the FA Cup. It's one of Premier League or Champions League. So would you rather Arteta in, let him keep building, but risk finishing second again, or Arteta out, win the Premier League, or like Arne Slot did at Liverpool, first season, win the league? Steph.
Well, I mean, why did Arne Slot win the league in his first season? Because of what Klopp had built before him. I don't know if that argues one way or the other, really, but I'm an Arteta keep building person. I'm invested. I'm there, and generally the away fans and fans in the ground are on board.
So Arteta's important. That important to you? That you would? Because remember, we're winning the league in the first season. Without Arteta, we sack Arteta now. We're winning the league next year. Why should it matter whether Arteta's the manager or Inzaghi's the manager?
Could I offer just a sort of an additional kind of thing to think about here? Does it matter who the manager is that comes in to replace him? If it's an emotional pull, if it's Bergkamp, for example, it's a good example. But if it is someone who really raises that thing amongst the fans of like, yeah, he really is a legend, this guy, as a player, and he's come in and he's done it, then it changes for me, it changes it anyway.
Jack Wilshere.
Yeah, well.
Luis Enrique, once won the Champions League with PSG. I only mention him because he was one of the names that was in the hat when when Emery got the job. And when Emery was not getting the job, his name was touted about as well. So, but my question to Steph is, like, why would it matter? Why should it matter who the manager is if we're winning the league? Do you think Liverpool fans are thinking, "Oh, I wish Klopp had stayed"?
Because it assuages the pain of losing someone who you liked.
But we're winning the league.
Yes, but Steph's point is he's invested in Arteta, and it's a kind of longer term vision. But if you say Bergkamp's coming in,
what's the end game with
winning it the year after?
I'm not sure Daisy will accept that.
No, probably not. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I'm torn as well on that, I have to say.
That is a hard one.
It's not. The whole reason we want our team to win the bloody league.
Tell us.
Yeah,
then,
I'm
Holly.
telling you, it's not difficult. What is wrong with you two?
Bye, Mikel. Thanks for everything.
I'm not saying that. I love Arteta, but I'm responding to Daisy's "Would you rather?" I want Arsenal to win the league next year. That is the most important thing. I would love it to be with Arteta, don't get me wrong, but that's not part of that wasn't the offering. That wasn't part of the choice. It wasn't, would you rather Arteta win the league with Arsenal next year or Arsenal win the league but with another manager? Well, I'd say Arteta.
So going back, referring it back to one we had earlier then, the whole thing about you witnessing the highs and the lows, finishing second, or not seeing anything and we win the league. You said about some things are bigger than the club, or the club is bigger than me. Okay, what's better for the club long term? Is it a short-term manager appointment that wins the league, or a long-term manager appointment that gives us things like stability and identity and culture?
But you're adding things to the would you rather. That wasn't part of it. who's to say the manager that wins the league that replaces Arteta isn't capable of going on to become a generational manager? Like, you're adding those things.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's why it's like you're overcomplicating it, gentlemen. She's offered us Arsenal winning the league next year. Why are we not taking it?
Because we love Mikel.
I'm attached.
Well, bless you both. Okay, cheers for that one, Daisy. Now, we're getting on to the next one, and I need to read what his one is.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
I know we're not doing too much live music, but it's just reached full time, and England have lost 3-1 to Senegal. Yeah, just thought I'd point that out there.
Can you just check how many minutes Saka, Rice and Lewis Skelly played?
I can certainly try. Saka played 71, Rice played 71, and Lewis Skelly played 88.
Okay, and someone, maybe one of you two can help me out here. Is that it? Are they on holiday now?
I bloody hope so, but I couldn't honestly tell you, but I think it is, yeah.
I don't know.
I think they play 2 and they're done.
So, the next Would You Rather, it comes from probably my favourite threads, but my favourite handle, because I was trying to work out what his name was or what the handle was, and I was literally doing Major, then Lee, pissed off. Oh, Majorly Pissed Off. So thank you, Majorly Pissed Off. I love the name. His or her, Major, I'm assuming. No, I don't know, actually. It's not Major. I was thinking Sergeant Major, but that's gender neutral also. So there you go. He, she, they. Would you rather Bukayo Saka round your house for dinner or Kiwior building you a shed?
That is excellent. Majorly Pissed Off.
A nice serious one for you.
But that's the kind of ones I like.
Very good.
Really good.
I know my answer straight away.
You want Kiwior?
Well, put it this way. I live on a farm and no one specified how big or small these sheds are. I want a nice big shed built by the Polish tradesman that is Jakub Kiwior. I'm having that all day long. I need a place to put. We need cover for our tractor, ride-on mowers and flail mowers and things. We need a bit more cover for that.
It's a no-brainer for you, mate.
Yeah, sorry, Saka. I love you, Saka. If I could meet any Arsenal player currently, it would be Bukayo Saka, but I want Kiwior's shed.
So good.
Chris.
But I have a London garden the size of a postage stamp, and I've just built this thing that I'm in at the moment. So there is no room for further development, Jakob, I'm afraid. So it's going to be Saka for dinner, and then try and marry him off with my daughter.
Chris, can I come round for dinner, please?
No.
Do I not get both?
Well, I live a 5-minute drive from Saka, so there is a chance that I could bump into him in a local restaurant.
Village fate.
Yeah.
The coconut shy.
Yeah. No, but I'm still going to go with Saka for dinner. Sorry, he just seems like such a nice bloke, and he's a good mate with Emil, so we can have a chat. We got people in common.
But that's a really good one. Majorly Pissed Off.
Majorly Pissed Off.
We doff our caps.
Thank you, sir, madam. Right, okay. Next one along my list. The Positive Gooner. Now, I think I've got this right on Blue Sky. Portion Distortion on Blue Sky.
That's the handle, yeah.
Okay. So I like this one. Would you rather come second 3 times in a row or win a European trophy?
Didn't they clarify it with finish 17th and win a European trophy as well?
That was someone else did put that one in.
Oh, right, okay.
So would you rather come second 3 times in a row or win a European trophy?
A European trophy.
Which European
Not
trophy?
the Champions League.
Well, then no. I'm coming second every time. Because it's the same outcome. You get in the Champions League. Why do people want to win the Europa League? To get in the Champions League.
But it's a trophy.
Yeah, it's nice for a day.
Is it just a day?
A summer.
I went to Tesco and there was some dodgy bloke wearing a Champions of Europe T-shirt.
Oh, behave. Was he a West Ham fan?
No.
Champions of... Okay.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't. If we
also
won the Europa League, you would not wear a Champions of Europe T-shirt.
Oh, I wouldn't, but I don't. I
Right
don't often wear Arsenal-related stuff anyway, so it's not. I ran the St Albans half marathon on Sunday, and I use the term "ran" loosely. No, I did run it. But I had the misfortune of running at a very similar pace to some absolute plonker wearing a Spurs shirt.
Oh.
So not only was it the hilliest bloody course, I had nightmares of hills on Sunday night.
Can I ask what made him a plonker as you were jogging a half marathon?
Well, one thing, he was wearing a Spurs shirt.
I mean, that goes without saying.
That was it. But I had to endure like 1 hour 49 minutes. Thank you very much. Of people shouting, "Come on, you Spurs!" like around the entire bloody course, as if running the freaking thing in the first place wasn't torturous enough. I had to endure that mental anguish. I mean, he was quite a young. He must have been like in his early 20s. I mean, he's lucky. He doesn't realise this, but he's lucky he lived to cross the finish line, because I nearly did away with him. There's a couple of quiet points on the course out in the countryside. I nearly did away with him. Buried him in a ditch. Okay, so we're saying finish second 3 times in a row, as opposed to winning
some tin pot European.
The Chelsea or Spurs trophy that in Europe this season. Okay, right. On to Jazz Tahara on Blue Sky. I've got 2 from him. Okay. Would you rather a guaranteed 18 goal a season from Martinelli, or it's an interesting one, or a fully fit Calafiori and Tomiyasu?
Wow.
Would you rather a guaranteed 18 goal season from Martinelli? I think I know where I'm falling now. Or a fully fit Calafiori or Tomiyasu? And Tomiyasu, sorry.
I'll go first on this
Chef, please.
I'm going to lean in. I'm going to take the fitness of the 2 fullbacks, because it just gives us more. I think the left berth, hopefully going forward, will not just be Martinelli's, so the goals will come from elsewhere, and I'd just rather have the options to rotate those 2.
There's a part of me that really wants to know what a full season of Calafiori can do. I'm intrigued.
Quite
by
offensive as well, like not defensive either. It's
yeah,
attack.
exactly. And go, like you say, going forward, that goal at City, and just it's been a very stop-start season for him. But when he's been good, he's been quite exciting. I love Martinelli, but yeah,
and Tommy as well. Just to see
what
him
a
come
player
back,
to have. Just
for his own kind of story,
Yeah, on a personal level, yeah, absolutely. Tomiyasu playing football, I mean, yeah. Although, add 10 goals to our season.
Think of Martinelli's smile when he scores the 18th goal of the season.
Yeah, you add 10 goals. I don't know how many league goals he got last season, 6 or something. I don't know.
Well.
But you add 10 goals to that, or 10 or 12 goals to our season. If you could choose where you place them, we'd be winning the league, because we drew a few games, Chris, didn't we?
Certainly did. We will rue those.
Right. Okay. I'm not. Jazz, thanks for that one. I'm sorry, mate. I can't work out your second one. Nothing to do with you. My handwriting. Steph's going to have a little look.
Do you want me to have a look? I've got Jazz's second question.
We'll come back to Jazz.
Here. Right, I'll ask you this time. So his second question is: sell Havertz with no other options. The plan being to convert Marino to a full-time striker.
It seems good.
Or you gain Musiala and Morgan Rogers.
Oh.
Sell Havertz.
So hang on. So I can keep Havertz.
You can keep Havertz.
And get Musiala and Morgan Rogers.
No. It's keep Havertz and not get anyone else, or you sell Havertz. No, hang on. Yeah.
And get Musiala and Rodgers.
I think I'd do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Havertz.
Yeah, you're getting rid of Havertz. Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, and before I sent them to you, if it had been another player, I might have gone, I'm not really sure. Musiala. I mean, he's a wonderful player. You know, when I've seen him play for Bayern, particularly in the Champions League, when he's played for Germany, he's that X-factor player.
He's another ceiling raiser.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And Morgan Rogers, like you say, I mean, how good could he be? But then, I mean, don't get me wrong, we don't really want Mourinho as the lone striker, but if he's got Musiala and Rodgers around him, hey.
There's goals, yes. There's plenty of other goals.
I mean, Mourinho's scoring for Spain in the Nations League, so, you know, he's transformed.
We've repurposed him. He is a striker. Arteta strikes again. Fantastic. Okay. Now, Archers_adventures on Instagram. Would you rather lose Saka? I don't know, does that mean like lose them in a field or something, like misplace them, and win the league? So it's sell Saka and win the league, or keep Saka and finish second again.
So this is a play on our Arteta question.
It is similar, isn't it? And I've got the same answer, so...
Oh, you're going to win the league, are you?
You have to win the league.
No way.
That's mad. That's mad. You two are so emotional.
Yep. Yeah, Saka.
Chris, you're nearly crying.
He's
like,
our boy.
But you're fighting back the tears.
Can't believe you even said that.
Superb. So, Chris, you genuinely would like to keep Saka and keep finishing second, but you...
Oh, you didn't say keep finishing second.
So I
Don't
slightly...
move the goalposts, young man.
Keep Saka and finish second, or
Next
lose
season.
Saka and win the league.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping him because we're going to do it thereafter.
So who's adding things now?
Well, I'm just saying there is the potential, but it's not like we're going to perennially finish second just because...
Why we finished that? That would be
Yeah,
our
we might finish
fourth
third.
one in a row.
Yeah.
That I think in all but like I don't know. That is what perennial means. Every bloody year finishing second.
But with the potential to win it. That's my implication is that, you know, you keep your star boy and, you don't want to lose him. Come on.
No, I don't. But that's not my... That's
But
the
you
game.
would rather lose him just to win the thing next year.
Yeah, because we could then win it again and again, because we've obviously picked up enough players.
Without him.
Buy
we've
him
picked
back
up enough players.
the year after.
There you go. We've picked up enough players. And anyway, I might have just left them down an aisle in Tesco. I don't know. I could pick him up. I could go to Lost and Found and collect him again in a year's time.
Now who's adding things?
No, the word was lose. It didn't say sell. I'm strictly adhering to the.
You could lose him at the Brookmans Park Fete, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could. The coconut
Show, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got one more, and it's JS Burns on Blue Sky, and I do like this one. If you could curse one rival club's player to have a piss poor, and I'm quoting, a piss poor season in order to maximise Arsenal's chance, would you rather that curse on Salah or Haaland?
Well, that's good.
Easy.
Is it?
Oh,
Is it?
Haaland all day long.
I see. I'd say Salah.
Oh, I'm not even thinking about it in terms of like benefiting our season. I know that leaves Salah to carry on doing what he's doing. Just the spoiled bottom lip coming out from Haaland's face when his season just goes to pot and he doesn't score a single goal because that's all he can do because he's actually not a very good footballer. He's just a good goal scorer. I'm all for that. Anything that adds to his misery. And yes, I'm remembering the 5-1 at our place where we basically just abused him for 90 minutes.
One of the best days of my life, Steph.
I feel I'm with you. And he
3 children. Nah.
the more it would be funnier. The misery on him would be funnier. Salah would just be like, scratching his head. It would almost be a bit sad on Salah, whereas on Haaland I'd find the angrier he got, the funnier I would find it.
Well, and looking at the form, the way I view it, I'm kind of with you, but on a more sort of less emotional level. Salah, I don't feel can have another season like he's just had. I do think there's bound to be a bit of a drop off. And Haaland, by his own standards, had a kind of average season. So he's on the up. He's gonna improve next year. So
okay. But looking at last season, then, if you had put the curse on Salah, we'd have won the league.
Well, I know, but
for sure. But that's not the question.
And this is when
Well, it is the question.
Nicholas Jackson for Chelsea is going to score about 80 goals.
Yeah.
So I'm cursing Haaland. Is my answer for next season.
I mean, like, I can see why for many reasons. I just think, I don't know, Salah, Liverpool, you can clip this bit, Steph. Liverpool are far more of a one-man team than Man City.
Boom.
So,
TikTok.
just to get the Liverpool fans on my case. Right. I think I'm done. So thank you very much to those. They were good fun. Have we got any non-football related?
No, this is still football related. Knowing that we were putting it, doing the Would You Rather episode, I put a couple of polls out and gave our followers a Would You Rather. The first one, very boring. Would you rather have Sesko or Gyökeres? And actually, the resounding winner across 2 or 3 of our social media pages was Sesko. I think people have really pivoted that way, and it actually quite a resounding victory across the board.
That's interesting because the fan accounts that the algorithm sends our way on TikTok, they tend to be quite heavily in favour of Gyökeres.
But do you not think that, again, it's that performative contrarianism? Because the club look like they're going in the Sesko direction.
They're going the other way.
Other people have to go the other way to create that kind of dissonance and divide, and I'm just not interested.
Go on. We did say ourselves, I asked you to, a few weeks ago, before anyone had moved closer to coming to us, who you prefer. And I think we fell on the side of Sesko because he had the higher ceiling.
Could see merit in both.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you could get one of them. Get one of them.
Yeah.
And the other one, which to me anyway is far more serious, is this idea that if the reports are true that we are signing Zubimendi, there's already some discussion online about what his chant will be. And so I put it out. Shut up. I put it out to our followers. Would you prefer one that's inspired by the Specials song, A Message to You, Rudy? A message to you, Zubi. Yeah? Or would you prefer Zubi Dooby Doo, where are you? Now, I think this is important because if we go with one of those, we are not a serious fan base.
Which one?
And do you know what's really disturbing? This was way more divisive than Sesko or Gyökeres. It was unbelievably close. It was Brexit levels of close. It could create a rift in the Arsenal fan base. Thankfully, I'm pleased to report, as a massive Specials fan with my Specials tattoo back there, A Message to You, Zubi, did win. But just... Yeah. If you're going for Zubi Dooby, I mean, get a grip.
Well, where did you get the idea, the notion that fans were going for Zubi?
One or two Arsenal fans tweeting out about it when he was doing his good stuff for Spain. But apparently the original source, and why some Arsenal fans have taken it on, is because when Liverpool thought they were signing him last season, start of last season, there was an online Twitter fan TV guy who basically came up with that. And some people are, they might be using it ironically, but they're still wrong.
That's the Irish guy, one of the two Irish
I don't know.
fans.
I don't know.
Yeah.
God, it's close. I was looking at it going, really? Jesus. Anyway, so there we go. That's cleared up.
Well,
we've all agreed now. A message to
well.
you, Zubi. Thank you.
I'm glad you've settled that particular issue.
It's important stuff. This is why people listen.
That was causing a real issue for many people, I'm sure. Have we got any other would you rathers? I know, Chris, you might have a couple of throwaway ones, little funny ones.
No, all I would want to say is that we should keep this going, and that if people out there have any ideas, then put them on the socials, because it's fun. There's nothing else going on. Just
we can also have a would you rather segment in each podcast, a new one each week.
Yeah, feel free.
Or each podcast, just to throw it out there, because
depends what the mood's like, I guess. No, I don't want to do would you rather.
We're finishing second.
Would you rather do would you rather or not do would you rather?
Would you not rather lose every week?
Or would you rather Stef predicts every game to finish 1-1 and Arsenal win the league?
Cut your head off with a spoon. Yes.
Right, just to finish on then, because again, just before we recorded, my wife knew we were doing this as well. She's messaged us in the group and said, would you rather your wives join in supporting Arsenal or just let you get on with it without ever saying things like, who's number 7?
That's a really good one, because my wife, I'm glad that she doesn't pretend to like football and say, who's doing the kickball thing, because I don't like that faux football fan thing. And
who's playing? Who's that? Who's that in red?
Did you want to share with the viewers what she thought our podcast was called?
Yeah, because she works for a charity and does celebrity liaison and meets loads of Arsenal players, past and present. And she liaises a lot with Dave Seaman, lovely Dave. And she was having a conversation with him, and he was talking about his podcast. And she said, "Oh yeah, my husband does a podcast." And he went, "All right, what's it called? I'll give it a listen." And she went, "The West Bank, I think."
Very different podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
So David, if you're out there, you went to the wrong place. It's not us. Well, my missus has listened to every single one of the podcasts we've put out, so I've got no issue with her interest in football.
Go on.
So there you go. So we've got
Mine does know a lot about football, but she's more worried about how I feel about it.
And more concerned about, you being away at games. Or, sorry, interested in you being away at games. Happy that you're away at games. Right, are we done?
We're done.
Okay, so we've got Would You Rather out of the way. We've got some very special podcasts coming up over the next few weeks. Some exciting guests we've got coming on to chat about Arsenal. So do keep your ears and eyes peeled. Can you keep eyes and ears peeled? Which one do you peel? Why do you peel them at all? I don't know. Where's that come from?
Keep your eyes glued too.
Glued?
Ears peeled.
Anyway, just keep a lookout or an ear out, a sound out for the podcast as they come up. And thank you, gents, and thank you very much to everybody who submitted their Would You Rathers. They were good fun.
Yes.
Yeah, do keep sending them to us, because we will revisit it, I'm sure, because it is a bit of a laugh and we could all do with that. Cheers for that. Cheers for the chat. Cheers for listening, and see you the next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye. The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app, and find us on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by The Podcast Company.